Good day. Thank you for joining us for another edition of In Conversations with AARP in the Virgin Islands. I'm Troy Schuster, State Director for AARP in the Territory. AARP in the Virgin Islands State Office's work is to advocate for persons of all ages with a special emphasis on the 50 plus segment of our population through relevant legislation, membership on key boards, commissions, and other committees, and providing timely, accurate information and resources to help our constituents navigate public and private services. Over the years, AARP has worked on bills, resolutions, and public policies with various sitting legislators and administrations. Each issue considered had the potential to have a tremendous impact in the Virgin Islands, one way or another. Today's show will highlight a list of bills which AARP-VI has worked on over the past year and on legislations being worked on currently. Joining me today is Pamela Toussaint, and Pamela is our Associate State Director for AARP in the Virgin Islands. Pamela is stationed on St. Thomas. She handles advocacy for AARP across the territory, as well as community outreach in the and the St. Thomas St. John district of the territory. And so Pamela, my dear colleague and employee, it's great having you on the show with me today. As normally other guests, you're usually in the background producing the show, but now it's me talking about advocacy that we've worked on over the past year and working on this year. So leading into advocacy, I would like to just clarify for our listening audience that AARP is a social mission organization. And the two lungs through which we breathe are advocacy and community outreach. Many people think that we are an insurance company. We're always telling people, no, we're not an insurance company. Please don't call us, don't contact us about any insurance issues because we cannot help you. The most we could do if you call us with an insurance question is to point you in the right direction to somebody who can help them. But really, at our heart, at our core, we are an advocacy and community outreach organization. So, having said all of that, again, AARP, we are a lobbying agency. We lobby everywhere from Capitol Hill in Congress to the White House to every state and municipality across the United States, including the territories of Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and Virgin Islands. And so, Pam, let's talk a little bit about the advocacy that we engaged in last year, and if you will, just introduce the listening and viewing audience to your work, and then we'll get into some of the particulars.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, Troy, I guess I should say thank you for having me on as a guest. This is the first time for 2023, so I'm actually happy to be here to just recap what AARP has done in the last year. Working with members of the 34th legislature, as well as the Brian Roach administration, and then most recently now we have the 35th legislature, and then the Brian Roach administration has returned. So we've done tremendous work, great work that really at the end of the day impacts all Virgin Islanders. I know there's a misnomer that AARP is just for quote unquote old people, but in fact the work that we do affects all Virgin Islanders. So from all cross sections, demographics wise, in terms of age, in terms of color, we really represent the entire Virgin Islands when we do our advocacy work. And I'm proud to be a part of an organization such as AARP. But looking at what we did in 2022, I can't believe I'm even saying that. It's kind of strange to be saying 23 and now, like I said, just recapping in 22. We did we had great work that was done, some amazing legislation. And one area of priority for us was actually looking at financial security for not just our members, but for Virgin Islanders. And in particular, we worked in conjunction with one of the senators, Milton E. Potter, and bringing to the forefront what is known as the Return to Work bill. And what that allowed was for retired government employees to return to the system, or in this case, the government of the Virgin Islands. Previously, prior to this bill being passed, retirees weren't allowed to return back into the system, and if they were, it wasn't for, it was for a short period of time, only for maybe like about 27 days or so. So it really didn't give them an opportunity to return and really give back to the organization. So when you talk about the transfer of information and the continuation of work, when a person leaves, as we know, or they retire, oftentimes there's really not a transition of information or power in the sense that the work has an opportunity to continue. So this bill allows a person to return back into the agency of their choice. Of course, they do have to go through the proper, vetting process, recruitment process, and whatnot. But again, it gives, two great opportunities for the government of the Virgin Islands. One, to develop their workforce. So whoever's coming in initially will have an opportunity to learn from someone who has that expertise already, and pretty much can get the work running, continue the work rather, and get hit the ground running when it comes to doing the work. And then secondly, the government of the Virgin Islands has had challenges when it comes to really finding talent, and that's something across the nation actually.
Yes, that is something across the nation. We're having some technical difficulties, and looks like Pam disappeared for a minute. But this return to work program also gives retirees the opportunity to earn more income. We're realizing all across the country that people, and all around the world really, that people are living longer, and because they are living